Craig Smith. In his absence, Alan Jacobson fills the loosehead slot with Alistair Dickinson on the tight. Doogie Hall is the hooker. New Zealander Matt Muschin, who has only missed one game all season, partners the hugely experienced Scott Murray in the second row. Lynn Howes has reshuffled the back row. Alistair Strokos stays at 6, with Alan McDonnell coming in at 7 for Ross Rennie, who picked up a bump last week. Simon Taylor is preferred to the big ball carrying David Callum. He wears number 8. The man who is right on top of his game at the moment is Mike Blair. He links with the adventurous Phil Godman at halfback. 19-year-old Andrew Eason returns to the side after missing last week. He replaces Duncan Hodge at inside centre. Outside him is Marcus Dirolo, who was one of the try scorers at Kingsholm. Out wide, Ben Cairns is on the left. He has real pace. Chris Patterson, the captain, is on the right, and Hugo Southwell wears 15. He was another to drop down 8 days ago. Well, Gloucester's head coach, Dean Ryan, makes 5 changes. One of those in force. Patrick Calazzo has been banned for 1 week, so his number 1 shirt goes to youngster Nick Wood. Carlos Nieto, the Argentinian-born Italian international, is the cornerstone of the scrum effort at 3. Frenchman Olivier Azam, who had a rampaging 80 minutes in round 3, is the hooker. And the man quickly becoming a Gloucester legend is the captain, Marco Bortolami. He packs down with Alex Brown. No shortage of line-up options there. The ever-dependable Pete Buxton is on the blind side flank, with Andy Hazel coming in on the open side after recovering from a shoulder injury. Luke Narroway makes up the back row. Rory Lawson is the scrum half. It'll be interesting to see how he goes against the club he left in the summer. Ryan Lamb, one of England's rising starlets, is fit to orchestrate at 10. Anthony Allen scored 2 tries last weekend, will operate in the centres with Mike Tyndall. Mark Foster is on the left wing, with the mercurial James Simpson-Daniel on the right. 2 of England's best fullbacks, Ian Bolshaw and Ollie Morgan, are vying for the fullback slot. Bolshaw gets the nod. Well, Edinburgh had to make a late change this morning. Matt Day comes in for Steve Turnbull. There's also a new signing, former Auckland Blues scrum half John Senior. The Cherry and Whites boast a strong 7 with the likes of international duo Christian Califano and England's Peter Richards. Few Gloucester fans have made the trip here. Good to see them in festive spirit. But there's so many key matchups this afternoon, aren't there, Scott? We mentioned Andy Hazel there coming in, even strengthening the Gloucester forward effort. He's against the young Alan McDonnell, just 21 years of age.
Yeah, great head up there. And of course, Simon Taylor as well, and another international coming into the side. I was looking at the centres, of course. Andrew Eason, 19 years of age, up against the exciting Anthony Allen and Mike Tyndall, Marcus Dirolo, so almost a Scotland-England outside centre clash. So some marvellous running within both these teams. Both teams like to play an open, expansive style. And here at Murrayfield, of course, it's one of the biggest pitches around.
Not only one of the biggest pitches around, but a lovely day here. It is very cold. I have to say we're shivering in the commentary box, but beautiful sunny afternoon, very dry. And as you say, Scott, great opportunity for both these sides who do like to play with some width to show that again this afternoon. Of course, the win probably won't be enough. It'll have to be a bonus point for whoever does come out victors at the end of this game.
I think this is one of the big features of today's game. I think both teams realise that the win has to come with that extra bonus point try-winning performance. And as a result, I can see both teams going out from the off and really spreading the ball wide.
There's Rory Lawson, Scotland A captain in the Churchill Cup in the summer, playing against his old club this afternoon. Him against Blair again, another key matchup. And Ryan Lamb, of course, a real breath of fresh air. Chris Patterson leads his Edinburgh side out. So much depends on his shoulders, not only as captain, but goal kicker as well.
He's got a very high percentage rate, over 80% at the moment, and really a real leader. My fear sometimes with Chris Patterson, he's stuck out on that wing, and really he needs to be closer in the action, but he's one of these players who does go looking for the ball.
Cannon sounds. Edinburgh come out.
Well, that was the Edinburgh 1 o'clock gun, actually.
Mike Blair. Barnes described him in the Rugby Cup this week as a quarterback, and that's exactly what he is. He marshals everything that's good about Edinburgh, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays a very good expansive role. He often sits once the third and fourth phase possession come into Edinburgh. He'll actually be coordinating things in the front, alongside Phil Godwin as well. A couple of young halfbacks eager to please.
Well, the man in the middle this afternoon is Romain Poit from France. Phil Godwin prepares to get us underway in what should be a fantastic, lively encounter. Bortolami waits. The Gloucester captain. Already leading from the front, taking that high ball, and it's gone high already. Andy Hayes is there very quickly, Narroway, his back row partner, but it did go forward from a Gloucester hand.
Well, if there was an indication about Andy Hazel getting to the ball, that was the occasion there. Straight up on the kick, gets his hands to it, but unfortunately on that time knocks the ball on. But Hazel, he'll be there all afternoon, harrying the ball, chasing Edinburgh down and attacking at all fronts.
Great advantage for Gloucester. 52 stone, 9 pounds coming from the Gloucester front row. Huge amount of weight in the front three there, and they used that last week. Here's Foster, just puts one high. There's Phil Godwin underneath it. Inside to Blair. Combination will be so key this afternoon between those two. Lived mainly off scraps last weekend and did pretty well. In fact, Brian Ashton was at the Gloucester training session I went to see in the week, and he was very impressed with Edinburgh's attacking game. There's a penalty to Gloucester here. Roar from the crowd. What do you think here, Scott? 3 points? Nearly 3 points?
We could have a pot there. That was Marcus DeRollo taking the ball in, but again Hazel with hands on the ball there and just putting this team, Edinburgh team that is, under pressure. Here he is into the tackle. He goes Hazel, double tackle there, lifts up his man, causing problems, and it was DeRollo hanging onto the ball, which resulted in this penalty decision going in Gloucester's way.
Ryan Lamb decides it's a little bit too far, so he just pushes it down into the Edinburgh 22. Here he is, Ryan Lamb, 20 years of age, born in Gloucester. Zam just making sure the call is right. Bortolami and Brown, of course, so many options. There goes to Bortolami. Lawson. His first little snipe. Here's Nick Wood coming in. Prefer to Christian Califano. He's on the bench, so no let up for Edinburgh. Next scrum time, Pete Buxton, the club captain. Lawson now to Lamb. Oh, it's an interception. Marcus DeRollo stretching the legs, he's over halfway. Bolshaw is trying to track him down. DeRollo now cuts the angle. Going one way, he's going another. Bolshaw's got there. Tries to get it to Patterson. He slides. Does he get in? With the initial reaction, not sure he made it, but we'll go upstairs. Great pace shown by Ian Bolshaw.
Smashing pace by Bolshaw, tracking down the hare. There's the ball here on Patterson. Patterson goes for the line. He slides. Is it momentum try? Does he get downward pressure? He's short of the line there. So Patterson just hauled down there by a flying tackle from James Simpson-Daniel. And following up was Alex Brown there, wearing the number 5 jersey as well. Let's just have a close look. Does he get downward pressure? Oh, he's inches short.
Well, Daniel Gillet upstairs, the television match official this afternoon. Just seemed to be slightly short of the line there.
Merci Daniel. Merci Daniel.
Again, we see another interception in this tournament. No try. Knock on from Chris Patterson. Scrum down to Gloucester.
Well, you can often tell in the players' expressions, and I really felt that Patterson knew he hadn't scored there, but really you felt that if Marcus DeRollo had actually just gone for the line, he would have got there. But Ian Bolshaw, tremendous defence to get down, but it was through Marcus DeRollo who read that attack off Gloucester that almost opened up the scoring there for Edinburgh.
Solid scrum from the Gloucester 8. Back to Ryan Lamb.
Put your head.
On his own try line. It's a good clearance kick from Ryan Lamb. It's his debut season in the Heineken Cup.
So here's the movement here, the pass that goes along. Derolo had absolutely read it. You saw on that angle that he had read that particular. Now I reckon if he'd just gone for the line there, he would have been in, but Walsall tracked him down.
Well, now penalty to Edinburgh. Numbers at the line out. There is Alan McDonald. Faces Rennie, who had a really good game at Kingsholm last weekend. His battle against Andy Hazel on the floor will be absolutely key. Easton, the 19-year-old, is a natural inside centre, so he came straight into the side. Duncan Hodge filled in there last week. Simon Taylor.
Heads off!
British and Irish line, of course. 48 caps to his name. Here's Derolo, who intercepted just moments ago, and he's given man a ball there. Luke Narroway will like nothing more than thumping the opposite 10. Here comes Ryan Lamb and Anthony Allen. Simpson Daniel showing real pace. Into the 22 now, just pops it up. Little drop there, advantage to Edinburgh. Hugo Southwell.
Advantage is over!
The orange gloves, well, we said it was going to be lively, it's exactly that. Bolshaw just assesses his options. Comes to the left with Foster. Buxton outside him. I'm entirely sure that's the man he would like there. Hazel there quickly, like any good open side should be. Zam. Nieto.
Away, bro!
Compromising pair, those two. Ryan Lamb. It's a good boot from him. Cairns read it well. He's inside his 22.
Away, stay.
It's a fine strike from the left winger. It really is. From 122 to the other.
Well, some smashing rugby there from both teams, and it's young Ben Cairns that's drilled that ball deep down into the Gloucester 22, but, well, it was the pass originally that came off Marcus Derolo there that resulted in Gloucester getting the turnover possession. And really, you have to applaud James Simpson Daniel. He was looking very sharp down the track.
And of course, a dreadful time with injuries. James Simpson Daniel has Gloucester get the penalty from the line. Now, it's no love lost between these 8.
No, absolutely not. Both teams know how crucial this particular game is, and really you have to look at Edinburgh's performance last week. They were totally outgunned up front. There was pockets of good play from Edinburgh, but Gloucester had more cohesion, more physicality up front. And then Lynn Howells, they've been talking about the hard yards that Edinburgh are going to have to graft to get over the gain line, to graft to the scrum and to try at the line out.
Doogie Hall is making sure. Jumps there, Scott Murray. Key to try and nick any sort of ball they can. Narroway. He's lifted that time. Of course, Gloucester used the back row very effectively at line out. Lawson been using the box kick, trying to put pressure on the youngster Ben Cairns, but he's up to it so far this afternoon. Southwell isn't quite on the same wavelength as Marcus Derolo that time. Godman to Blair. It would have been decision from Edinburgh, and it's forced the forward pass.
Well, Edinburgh's expansive game plan coming unstuck there. Blair tried to set off on the counter-attack.
Stand up, stay up.
Well, last weekend is the first time these two teams have met in this tournament. Lawson, referee's in the way.
Hands up,
To go himself.
Back.
Alex Brown waits. Comes back after a broken arm earlier in the season.
Away, Brock, hands off!
It's good turnover ball from Edinburgh. It's illegal. Strokosh in there.
Number 6.
And the scrum cap wearing 6. Bit of pushing and shoving as well.
Number 6, use the hand.
Alistair Strokosh, one of the players captain the autumn internationals, guilty of playing the ball on the deck. But it was Rory Lawson. Well, the referee was in the way. He almost felt he had a smile on his face there, Lawson. Good tackle off the bat there by Alan McDonald. Strokosz just off left of picture, just coming in, wearing the number 6 there. Down he goes, hands on the ball. Now he's got to be on his feet at this point. His knees are against the opposite number. So illegally one ball allows this opportunity for Gloucester to get first points on the board.
There's the Strokosz. His Scotland debut here at Murrayfield as a substitute against Australia. But he gave away the penalty that gives Ryan Lamb this opportunity to get the first point to the afternoon. Easy enough for Ryan Lamb. It's 3-0.
Well, he always felt that it was Edinburgh's mistakes that put Gloucester into that situation. But first blood goes to Gloucester. Good kick by Ryan Lamb. Kept his head down well, drew the ball in.
Got him again. Slightly longer restart this time to Narroway. That's what you want from your 8, to take those restarts. Just carried up well, Luke Narroway, England's 7th man, of course. There, Simpson Daniel. Again, just a hand in there from James Simpson Daniel. It's a good chase. Of course, a kick is only ever as good as the chase.
Yeah, but often they come in your favour, actually. Simpson Daniel looking sharp at the start. Of course, just a second knock on from a high kick, Andy Hazel on the first one, but it just goes to show plenty of pressure coming on from this Gloucester team.
Pressure at the scrum, Mike Blair. Edinburgh in reverse.
Well, Alan Jacobson there just questioned the decision, but this is the crucial. Look at this drive coming in from Gloucester, and really you just felt that this is where Gloucester are going to win the game up front by keeping that ball tight. They do like to play an open game as well, but the Gloucester scrum is looking very, very, very tight at the moment.
Push right, number 1, number 3, push right, please. Wait the ball, clutch it all.
The scrum was given last week. You can almost see the Edinburgh players groan. Front rows there.
It's Ali Dickinson who's the tight head on this side as we're looking on, and on the other side Alan Jacobson, the quite small, slight props, especially Jacobson just sitting somewhere around 5'10".
Lamb. Just slightly behind Simpson. Daniel Bolsher has to go back, and he's brave. He's holding on. Almost all he could do though.
Well, it's the soft penalty there. Will allow Chris Patterson to perhaps have a look at this one. There's flat possession here. Bad pass just behind the man, and Mike Blair just trying to get a foot in there. Balshaw goes down on the ball. He was guilty of not releasing on the ground. And right enough, Chris Patterson steps up to have a pot at goal.
Most experienced Heineken Cup player for Edinburgh. His 40th appearance this afternoon. Up at 90% so far in this tournament. He knows this ground so well, of course.
There's also in the Magners League, his kicking statistics have been out the top drawer.
Sure to have the legs. No, it doesn't. The direction was there, but didn't quite have the legs that time. Not sure he struck it as cleanly as he would have liked.
He's got a very short run up as Chris Patterson. I was just looking at him just as he struck that kick, and he just didn't get the weight behind it.
So it's a 22 dropout for Ryan Lamb and Gloucester. That missed penalty from Chris Patterson, and you feel every point on offer to Edinburgh this afternoon will need to be taken. Muschin, Blair and Patterson. Simon Taylor, pop that one up. Bortolani's in there quickly. Wood, hands to the loose head, Narroway, always looking for the offload. Good leg drive from the 8. Straight over the gain line. Costa goes in there. There's no match for Muschin, but it's illegal. Not on his feet at all.
Number 4 guy.
Well, not much in there. The former Ulster player just coming in and driving in from an offside position. So again, a needless penalty, allowing Ryan Lamb just to penetrate down into the 22. But a poor kick from Lamb there. You don't often see that.
It's called a howler. So mistake from Ryan Lamb. They had the penalty, they would have had the line out in the 22, but ball went dead. So Edinburgh have the 22, need to drop out. Opportunity to clear their line slightly. Godman goes long to his opposite number, Ryan Lamb. Low kick, and that's what he meant to do just a moment or two ago. There's a quick line out from Edinburgh, and Southwell clears.
Well, Lamb making amends straight away. Wonderful crossfield diagonal here, pins it really quickly into the corner, but Phil Gorman was up there quick enough to feed Hugo Southwell.
5, 6.
And then under 21 man Ryan Lamb made a big impression at the end of last season, again against Ross in the Guinness Premiership. Wonderful try he scored. Of course, Willie Walker on the bench. New Zealand married man. It's Buxton.
Hands off, Rack.
Started all 9 Premiership games so far this season. Pete Buxton. He is a permanent for the Cherry and Whites. Here's Lawson.
Release.
And just trying to draw the defenders in. Little and Buxton wait again. Good drive from those two.
Hands off.
It's Jacobson and Hall. Lamb inside to Narroway. Through the first tackle. Over the gain line already, Lamb. So flat. Manages to get the pass away to Bortolami. A little flick pass. Now the back to Mark Foster, but it's straight into touch instead.
Oh, when it comes up, it works well. Bortolami just being a wee bit more exuberant there, but again, the press defence of Edinburgh committing these errors. Ryan Lamb, not much option here. And that reverse pass just going to nowhere.
Red, please. Open.
And of course, Edinburgh have had their good wins here at Murrayfield in 2003-2004 season. They beat Toulouse through to the quarter-finals of the Heineken Cup that season. As Chris Patterson is driven back in the tackle. Edinburgh have done well to get this ball back here. Blair, Godman just drops back. Blair has a look to Southwell. They'll use his left boot instead. He's got a very good left boot at times. Hugo Southwell, they use him. There's a different kicking option, don't they?
Excellent play by Southwell. Edinburgh should use a lot more of that left foot from Southwell. Normally, we get more distance off that left peg, but off the back of the last line out, Andy Hazel with a crunching tackle on Chris Patterson.
Olivier's out to Bortolami. Already his third line-out take of the day from Marco Bortolami. Swap and change around. He and Alex Brown in that line-out. Lawson straight out with a box kick.
Well, Lawson with the error off the back there. Quick ball there by Edinburgh. Referee wants it reset.
Black number.
But you can see this quick play that Edinburgh want to put a bit of fizz into the game.
Open the gap, Red.
Free kick to Edinburgh. Not enough of a gap in between the
Hands off.
two line-out lines. Just by the referee, Godman inside. Strokosh.
Away, 3.
The ball carry for Edinburgh. That's to Strokosh. One of those on the Churchill Cup in the summer with Scotland A. Godman. And floated pass to Southwell. Here's Patterson. Little chip from Patterson. Been pushed and tugged, and Lawson gets there in the end. Good covering work, as you'd expect from a good scrum half. Again, Chris Patterson showing in broken field situation. He is very dangerous.
Well, Edinburgh, quick ball off here by Mike Blair. Gorman goes for the longer pass here to Hugo Southwell. Southwell on the 2-1, and Patterson with a chip ahead.
Hello. Restart. Lamb across the field of Bowl short. Throw to Ollie Morgan. England's best fullbacks is Dickinson. He loves to have the rumble in the loose. Inside head prop. Here Edinburgh, a little bit more urgency here. Godman, tackle coming in on him from Alex Brown. It's gone backwards. Looked like he went backwards. But only the referee's opinion matters.
Well, Dougie Hall will be disappointed with that. The continuity was there, but Edinburgh looking sharp in that attack. This was Mike Blair, great covering work and offloading. It was Dickinson who came away. Great tackle by Rory Lawson, though. Got good ground there. He's a good running prop forward. Ali Dickinson doesn't perhaps have the bulk for the scrummage.
Find a solution, please.
There's the man who's had a lot of pressure on him this week. Massimo Catita.
Engage!
Yeah, real character, and of course he's played out in the Natal Sharks as well, so lots of experience from the former Italian front row forward.
He's Edinburgh's scrum coach, and working really hard this week, as you would expect. You'd seen the game last week, 60 points last week, and in the first quarter and only 3 points scored already. You can tell how much it means to both these sides.
Yeah, it's been very open, and certainly not points on the board quite yet, but just going back to Catita there, he has been working them hard in the scrum, Edinburgh, apparently just getting the set and the squeeze absolutely right, just getting all the basics right for the scrum, and we've seen them under pressure already. And this is another key area. Dougie Hall is line-out throwing, sometimes questionable, and important that he gets this particular one right.
Show me, and open the gap, please. Yeah.
Stay out.
There's Matt Muschin.
No.
And all three Heineken Cup rounds so far. His 17th game. He used to play at Ulster. Just only one game for Edinburgh this season. Forms a very good second-row partnership with Scott Murray. Good catch of the line out. It's Taylor. A couple of games so far in the Magnus League so far. Simon Taylor again there from Edinburgh. Groans from the crowd.
Well, Blair was caught just a little bit slow off the back of that set ball, put back by Simon Taylor.
And even before the ball is put in, the Gloucester already got the little nudge on his Simpson Daniel. Good ankle tackle, textbook stuff from Mike Blair. Undoubtedly Scotland's #1 scrum half. Chris Cussiter is out with a shoulder injury. Received against the Pacific Islanders here in the autumn. Lawson to Ryan Lamb, jinking run of his. Caught by Alistair Dickinson. There's a good tackle from the prop. Here's Bolshaw. Again, Mike Blair coming in with the tackle, driving Bolshaw back. Lawson, Tyndall. Good angle from Nick Wood, but it's forward again. See what Tyndall and Wood were trying to do there.
Oh, Tyndall, it was great feat actually to get himself into a position to make the pass, but the whole movement came from Ryan Lamb here. Now look at this, he teased the defence, he saw that outside him was Dougie Hall, made the step, but it was Dickinson, the prop forward, who tracked him down. So a prop forward, but it was a good step initially round the front row, but Dickinson, the prop, got the fly half.
And those are the kind of situations that people like Ryan Lamb, Anthony Allen want to put themselves in, against one-on-ones against forwards.
Yeah, they've got very good feet, they're good awareness as well. I just felt that a couple of times Ryan Lamb, once he's made his step, if he threw the ball wider, that's where the space is.
A few handling errors so far this afternoon. Quite a few from Gloucester that have had all the possession, most of the territory as well.
There's been a lot of rain falling over the last few weeks, and this pitch here at Murrayfield quite wet, and of course the little bit of dew coming on even at this time of the day here in Edinburgh.
Come on, we wait the players. Get up.
Fergus Pringle, wearing 18, comes into Edinburgh's second row with Scott Murray. Muschin just going off to tidy up
Engage.
a blood injury. Feel the hit from up here. Those front rows clashing.
Men immediately together. Scrum black, catch and all.
Sort of Fergus Pringle. South African, playing with South African students. He captained them back in 2000. It's a free kick. Edinburgh, they'll be encouraged by that. Here goes Taylor. They like to play this quick game. High intensity, Blair. Pick and go from him. Fergus Pringle's just come on. Good first touch from him, Strokosh. Really good play from Edinburgh, up to the halfway line now. Godwin receives a long floated pass.
Release 15
Kicks it
hands
out to
up,
Southwell.
hands up. No hands,
Again,
number
Gloucester are
8.
penalised.
No hands, number 8.
Patterson looks for the tap and go, but this time he'll go for the corner. The good meters made from that tap free kick.
Well, Edinburgh from deep, the tap from Simon Taylor here. Excellent play, they make good yards here. And they just attack Mike Blair again, sniffing around the sides, making sure that he's always gaining ground. An excellent offload from Fergus Pringle. Just good all-round tight play that will please the Edinburgh coach, Lynn Howells.
It's his right hand to that one. Lawson using a box kick. Cairns goes inside to Southwell, but the chase is good from Gloucester. Good pressure on the ball's out now. Let's go straight down on it to retrieve it. Tyndall's there. But now they've pushed it out. The crowd not very happy. The referee's given a penalty to Gloucester. DeRolo, man penalised to Zam, takes matters into his own hands and finds out the quick pass to Foster. Good run from Foster. He may have dropped that one. He has. Just the little errors at the moment that are costing both teams.
Yeah, Foster just took that into contact, trying to brush off Chris Patterson, but here was the quick tap. A wide pass that came in here, picked up by Mark Foster. And Foster took on Chris Patterson. Patterson just limping away from the action here. He got a knock in the first 10 minutes, and he's just not looking as sharp, perhaps, as he normally is.
Again, a free kick at the scrum for Edinburgh. If he wants it taken from the mark, though. It's Olivier Zam, the Gloucester hooker. French international, of course, 10 caps to his name.
Interesting enough, I thought he might have gone for the penalty on the previous decision there, rather than actually go for the tap and go. Hugo Southwell clears upfield, doesn't find touch though.
Goes as far as Foster. 23-year-old. Scored a try on his hunting up debut against Leinster, scored on last weekend as well. Patterson, Hugo Southwell. I'll do it again, right is there. Bolshaw just telling him to chip it ahead. Showed really good strength in his Andy Hazel. And used as the link man again to Narroway. Good hands from Narroway, as you'd expect from a sevens man. Yeto. Gloucester just turning up the heat here. Lawson, there's an Edinburgh man in the way, so Gloucester have the penalty.
Well, a superb attack there from Gloucester. But it was Fergus Pringle. Pringle, he should have maybe had a yellow card for the lazy running. He's going to call him over.
But more discipline when you go back for the line, okay? Okay.
Well, very lucky not to receive the yellow card, Fergus Pringle, because that certainly stopped a scoring opportunity, because Gloucester had numbers over. Superb counter-attack though. The step in here, the brush off, but it was the offload here that allowed the continuity. Andy Hazel with the link up, then the support from Buxton it was. At this point here, ball was back, numbers were over, Ryan Lamb was screaming for it, and Pringle just runs in the line.
Muschin back on for this line out.
Advantage red, hands off black, hands off.
Donald just knocks that one on. At the tail of the line out. Lawson, Lamb, little dink through, Mike Tyndall scored. Very similar try, it's loose. Southwell is there. It was exactly the same move that Tyndall scored from last weekend, and Tyndall's involved with Muschin on the floor there. And I think the touch judge has seen that the flag is out. What was Mike Tyndall doing there?
Well, it's going to be an interesting conversation here on the sideline. I hope your translation's good from the French referee and his support touch judge.
Le noir qui le tient par le pied. D'accord. Donc il ne peut pas se replier. Et ce 13 rouge, il vient marcher dessus.
Your guess is as good as mine, Scott.
D'accord.
I only got my O level at French up here in Scotland, so
tu préviens les noirs.
je ne sais pas, I'm afraid.
Qu'est-ce qu'en pense la Dordogne? D'accord, ça marche.
Well,
Bon,
it was
donc
just
avertissement 13
On the
rouge.
Gloucester
Et
side,
le
Matt
noir ne doit
Muschin
pas
was
tirer la-
lying over the ball, and Mike Tindall
Captain,
tried to
please.
drag him out.
Captain.
The referee's calling over Chris Patterson, Bortolami.
A player black pull the feet on the number 13 red. He used the feet on the players on the ground. I give a penalty against the number 13. Call him, and I tell him. But more discipline.
It sounds like
for
might just
pulling-
be a
for
penalty.
pulling the feet and the shot, okay?
Mike Tindall looks pretty relaxed about it all.
The second.
Here it is.
There's Mike Tindall there.
He pull you.
Well, wearing number 4 jersey, of course, Matt Muschin was holding on to Mike Tindall, and as a result used his feet to try and get away, but nothing really within that. But Matt Muschin, well, just doing what a forward would do, just trying to drag her back into the ruck and maul.
We did get a yellow card last week. More of a team offence there, though. Here's a Gloucester attack again.
Lamb just with a dig kick here. Phil Goldman got hands to it, and then suddenly Hugo Southwell, well, he's wearing the orange gloves, almost like a goalkeeper, makes the save.
Edinburgh line out. Strokosh. Blair. Saw some space in front of Foster. Blair might get to this one. No, Foster does. Lamb. Gets that low kick. To the Edinburgh 22.
Well, Mike Blair is sharp as attack, but on this occasion it's Ryan Lamb who just punishes Edinburgh, goes for the positioning kick, and playing a real good all-round game. The young fly half for Gloucester, Ryan Lamb.
Alex Brown. The line out. Who else you might say for Gloucester? A superb line out forward for years. Former Bath man, Bristol, of course. 600 Cup games for them. Here's Lamb and Anthony Allen. First little show from Anthony Allen. It's 30 minutes in. Lawson goes on the short side. Lamb again. Not sure.
Hands off!
Read the pass well.
Advantage look on red.
Sam is in there. He's knocked it on. Advantage to Edinburgh, the men in black.
Look on red. Number 10. Number 10 quiet.
So he hasn't been short of incidents so far this game. But only 3 points scored.
Well, Ryan Lamb just took that into the contact, but let's look at the previous line-out. It was the throw here from Dougie Hall. Just didn't find his man, so the missed calls, the demons coming back to haunt Dougie Hall's throwing.
So scrum for Edinburgh. So put the pressure on here. 7 or 8 metres out. Taylor does well. It's a good quick hook from Hall.
7 black in front of.
Well, the accidental offside there, just as Simon Taylor picked up. Alan McDonald was in front of him. And Edinburgh just trying to force the pick-up off the back of the scrum, so deep in their own 22.
That's what they must do. Get the ball out of the scrum very quickly. Lamb. Lawson on the wraparound. Needs support now. Buxton sweeping up. Good blocking run from him. Lamb numbers here. Mix up. Scott Murray comes away with it. It's being played to Edinburgh. It's that final pass at the moment. It's not quite going to hand for Gloucester. Foster. Not many people making touch. It certainly makes for an exciting game. Here's Southwell. Good hit coming in.
Hands off, Red, hands off!
On him. Mark Foster, I think it was. Blair. He's not found touch. As well, Bolshaw. Running style of his into Simpson Daniel. Muschin. Andy Hazel there so quickly. Real bonus having him back in, Ryan was saying in the week. Surprised how well Glos have been playing without him. But the referee, I think, has had enough here.
Number 5.
I think the hand's going into the pocket.
Captain.
He's calling over Scott Murray. He can't believe it.
Yeah,
surprise, surprise.
Too many errors coming in from the ground. There's illegal work going on the deck. Let's listen to the referee here.
No. You're outside and you play the...
Patterson makes his way over slowly.
This is the same like the 18. You go back and you tackle an offside.
So the word there coming in from Fergus Pringle was lucky not to get the yellow card. Scott Murray just interfering with possession on the deck, on that far side. Here's Scott Murray.
Well, Lamb's taking this one quickly. It's almost a David Humphreys from Friday night. Looking crossfield to Anthony Allen and Foster. But Edinburgh very alert to it, Hugo Southwell in particular. And Lamb comes all the way back.
Away, Red!
Chip. Easton is there, good pass to Blair, just shrugs off the tackle of
Away,
Lamb.
Black, away, 8!
Tyndall. So effective under the high ball, Mike Tyndall. Used over the years by England in that role. Lawson waits. It goes high, Allen. Gives it back to Azam. Oh, he's got numbers here. Foster, the quick man, Buxton outside him. What can he manufacture with Azam? Now Edinburgh come back. More numbers there now than they need to. Down to 14, of course. Lawson, Allen, Ryan Lamb. He's got numbers on the right-hand side. Surely Tyndall can see them. It's Narroway, and it's easy enough for the England sevens man. There's the first try. You felt it was coming.
Oh, it was just the red and white wave and tide that just gobbled up the expanses at Murrayfield. It was from the initial box kick on Rory Lawson. Patterson couldn't field the ball. Picked up by Olivier Azam. The feed out wide here, and it was superb taking on the ball by Peter Buxton. And then the space was out wide. Through the hands it goes from Tyndall. Tyndall with a scoring pass into the red-capped Luke Narroway in for the try, but good hands across the field, allowed all the space in the world. And Narroway winds up. A superb flowing movement here from Gloucester.
I think Glos and Dean Ryan will be relieved to score that try. They had a penalty 5 metres shy of the line. Lamb looking a crossfield kick, that one didn't come off, but just had their first try, and Ryan Lamb trying to curl this one in. Lovely kick, really super kick from the touchline from Ryan Lamb.
Sweet as when they come in from that wide out, a 7-pointer means so much. But there was acres of space out wide. Anthony Allen with the first pass, then the next one, and this space out wide put Luke Narroway away. Scoring pass there from Mike Tyndall.
Here's the try scorer.
Heads
the
up,
fancy
Red!
bits. Scores the tries, does the hard yards as well.
Don't move, Red! Don't
Really
move!
does like to take responsibility.
5, 14.
Luke Narroway. Simpson Daniel again chasing
On
well.
the line.
Both the Gloucester wingers chasing rear. Kicks really well this afternoon. Tyndall. It's a loose pass. Does well with that big frame of his.
Tyndall took it into the contact. Good tackle though by young Andrew Eason, who held on to him.
No ball. No ball.
He scored a try here against Scotland for England.
Yeah,
In 2002 Six Nations, Mike Tyndall.
Time off.
You can see
Right.
64% of the game played in Edinburgh's half.
And more so the number of visits for Edinburgh down into the Gloucester half, only 3% of possession. But it was the amount of possession, of course. Edinburgh down to 14 men. Tyndall knew that the space was out wide to Luke Narroway, but well, the whole back row had been involved in the last try there with Andy Hazel, and also Peter Buxton prominent throughout.
I think James Forrester is still injured. Narroway doing very well in his absence. Taylor. Difficult afternoon at the base of that scrum. He's kicked, just charged down, Lawson coming across, just gets a boot to it. And Ken just asking whose ball it is. It's a Gloucester throw to the line out.
Well, Bodman under pressure here. Ricochet.
Pete Buxton in there. Tall man. It's Brown. Again. Glos will look to set the driving maul here. Lawson again. Using the box kick. Cairns is there, he's aware of that ploy. Being used, Lawson has a little thing about the quick line out. And we'll have a line out almost exactly the same place as a minute ago.
So Edinburgh with the losing 2 to the throw and Dougie Hall. And of course Gloucester not losing any, so pretty secure. It's been a good performance by Gloucester. They're feeling comfortable throughout all facets of the game, and Azam with the throw there.
It's gone over at Narroway. Into the hands of Alan McDonald. Blair, Jacobson. Both these Edinburgh props like to get ball in hand. Godman, DeRolo, Southwell. Patterson outside him. Needs to look inside now. Inside centre. Maybe another couple of metres for the Scottish side. Godman, the chip. Bolshaw's there. And just dots it down.
Now Ian Bolshaw read that one. The minute Godman looked up to see if the kick was on, Bolshaw was already hearing back into his dead ball area.
He's used a lot, that little rubber kick. Past the defensive line. Quite rugby league, really. And goes long. Drops just on the Edinburgh 10-metre line, and here's Southwell. We've seen plenty of air this afternoon already.
Knock on red.
Little knock on from Gloucester. We've got time for the scrum, says the referee.
Well, one of the areas of the game that Gloucester have done extremely well is the follow-up to the box kicks from Rory Lawson, and also the kicking of Ryan Lamb. Gloucester have then gone up as a line and put pressure on Edinburgh because they know fine well that Edinburgh love to attack from deep. And suddenly they just squeezed the life out of you. And another facet of the game is the dominance here in the scrum.
Always said games are one up front. Physical as well as mental edge.
And how often have we seen Simon Taylor off a retreating scrum picking up? There he goes again, and it's in disarray once again.
And David Callan does have a little knock. And possibly Taylor selected for that experience at the base, but it's a penalty to Gloucester.
And that Edinburgh front row having a torrid time with that scrum just turning.
Olivia Azam just waving at Alan Jacobson. They know they've got the edge. For the first half we've had here.
A good play by Gloucester. They're the ones who got the try on the board. Down to 14 men with Scott Murray having been yellow carded.
Well, Edinburgh without any points. Gloucester with 10. Fascinating second half in store. It's got that first half very much like last week at Kingsholm. All the possession, all the territory Gloucester's way. Not being able to quite use it at the moment. Dean Ryan said in the week that they need to be smarter and use that territory and possession better.
Yeah, I think they should be playing a lot more tighter, making the forwards do a lot more of the hard work, getting the hard yards in there, take Edinburgh on up front, and then release their backs. You can see what Edinburgh's strategy is and tactic is. They will attack from deep at all opportunities. The great link as well through Mike Blair, and of course they just haven't penetrated down in the crucial area, and that's the red zone of the Gloucester 22. So Gloucester very much in control in this game.
Well, no changes to the two teams at half-time. Of course, Edinburgh do have a very good record here at Murrayfield. Only lost one in the last 6. That was against Cardiff. The Cardiff Blues. Blair. To Godman. Narroway. Had a very good first half, of course, capped it all with that try. Lamb chasing his own kick on Blair. Advantage going to Edinburgh. The tactic of putting the ball high in the air littered that first 40 minutes
Yeah, they've won a fair bit of ball. Ryan Lamb through his box kicking along with his half-back colleague Rory Lawson.
Again, the Edinburgh scrum going back tight. Taylor doing really well. Blair, little chip over the top. Into the hands of Patterson. Narrow did well in there. Against Alan McDonald, crowd not happy. Felt the open side was impeded, but it's a knock-on.
Well, Mike Blair there attacking down the blind side, the wee chip ahead, and Chris Patterson ran a good angle, but I just felt that the offload at this point was just a touch too early. And the Edinburgh crowd there suggesting that Alan McDonald was pulled over.
Tyndall. Like Tyndall using the right boot. Southwell turns just to see if there's anyone there to take the quick line out. There isn't.
Tyndall with a good end-on-end kick, whereas previously Phil Gorman had put one up where the screw kick had actually brought the ball back in field. So the modern way being the end-on-end.
Advantage number.
Tail of the line out. Godman.
Hands on 6.
Into midfield, but there was a couple of Gloucester tacklers waiting for the Edinburgh runner. Blair. He drives the team forward, doesn't he, Mike Blair? Godman gains his short pass. Hall gets the call to go down from his loose head prop. Goes through at the side, Blair takes it quickly. Strokosz, Godman, little flip out of the back, lovely pass to Southwell. I'd like to play at tempo anyway. Here's Dickinson. He's met by Nieto and Bortolami. Godman just stretching for the pass onto Southwell. Cairns, he scored a couple of tries in the last couple of weeks. And Cairns, good try last weekend, showed real pace. Godman half through the gap, trying to look for the offload. Strokosz. Edinburgh need to be a little bit more direct here. You feel, just need to get someone over the gain line. Godman again trying to clever pass. And there's Hall, that's much better from him. Simon Taylor romping his way towards the line. Taylor looks to support now. Strokosz dots it down. Try.
Well, you have to stand and applaud this Edinburgh team. They throw everything from the kitchen sink at their moves. And they're still down to 14 men. But it was Dougie Hall who broke through here. And that's brought the Edinburgh crowd absolutely alight. Simon Taylor took the ball into contact. Balshaw brought him down. But it came off the boot of Mike Tyndall. And Strokosz was there to support.
Just what I was saying, they need a bit of straight, direct running. Hall provides that. Taylor.
And Tyndall, well, it came off him. And Alistair Strokosz, there he is, capped against Australia last month. Nails the try for Edinburgh that brings him right back into the game.
We're back up to 15 now. Score that try with 14. Patterson adds the extras. They showed so much character to come back last week. It's exactly what they're doing again this week.
Dougie Hall with a good offload there, round the back from the tackle of Rory Lawson. The offload from Simon Taylor hits the shins of Mike Tyndall, but Strokosz, ever the supporting blindside, he was up there to pounce on the ball.
That certainly warmed this crowd up here at Murrayfield. Blair to Taylor.
Hands off 7.
He's proved his selection. That run alone. Here's DeRolo. Southwell. Down the tram lines, as it were. To Balshaw, who looks to open up a little here. Lang just took his eye off it. Don't the crowd like that one?
I was just thinking how much space that Gloucester had got because Edinburgh hadn't come off. Lamb, look at him. You could see that his eyes were just looking there at the big lumbering hulk of Scott Murray as he came up there. So Lamb looks to the skies in despair. And Edinburgh suddenly with their tails up wanted to put pressure on Gloucester.
Just smiles about it. Effervescing with confidence. Ryan Lamb. But his side under a bit of pressure here. Scrum to Edinburgh on the 22.
You just feel that the Gloucester 8 will put the pressure on Edinburgh here.
90 degrees. Scrum position.
The crystal ball is working, Scott.
Absolutely. What a penalty. Somebody's had words in the front row there.
Third time.
And really, this is where you feel that Gloucester should utterly dominate the game. Azam with ironic applause.
Okay, pay attention.
Referee very clear there. Edinburgh front row has spoken to him on a couple of occasions. Olivier Azam, of course, being French, may have a good connection with the referee.
I'll give you an advice, you don't tell me.
It's just the sheer pressure and weight that's coming on the drive-through from Marco Boltolami and Alex Brown in the second row, allowing that front row to dominate.
Boltolami, a juggle at the line out.
Advantage is over. Seven.
Kent goes high. Tyndall after this one. He's going to let Southwell take it and then try and turn him. Andy Hazel, he knew it'd be on his shoulder. But Tyndall hasn't released his man. Here comes Blair.
Not 10 meters, advantage. Advantage
Kent.
is over.
Jinking run from him. Godman looks inside, finds Jacobson in the end.
Hands off.
A little bit laboured that time. Patterson, good step. Keep the ball alive really well, Edinburgh. DeRolo.
Hands
Just
off.
don't go to ground this time, though.
Stay back.
Blair to Godman. Godman putting boot to ball. See too much else on. Bolsher again tells Foster to put it ahead of him. Bolsher was coming on an angle. Foster didn't see him. Edinburgh ball here, and advantage being played to them as well. Godman. Kick over the top. Buxton is there. Good game, Pete Buxton.
He played the ball with the hand.
Boltolami just clarifying with the referee. That is a penalty to Edinburgh. Just inside the Gloucester half. Hugo Southwell steps up. Might use the left boot here. No, he's passing it to Phil Godman now.
On 5.
And only Toulouse have beaten Edinburgh here in the Heineken Cup in the last 5 games.
Well, Gloucester should have done more with this ball. Look at Balshaw pointing, but Foster takes off. Well, the pass on the inside was there, but super tackle by Hugo Southwell. But again, Edinburgh always trying to play this game from deep.
Again, stolen line out. Beginning to creak a little bit from Edinburgh, but they've got the put into the scrum.
Dougie Hall was disappointed with that call, but Simon Taylor is looking sharp today off the back of the scrum. Hall missed his jump. The hands there of Gloucester get in front, but Simon Taylor, he put the pressure on Gloucester, which got the possession back. And Alec Brown just perhaps taking a leg knock just as he pinched that ball from the front of the Edinburgh line-out.
Man of the match last week, his 20th Heineken Cup appearance. Was capped by England in the summer against Australia, Alex Brown. Huge amount of experience, of course, does that man have. 37 caps for Scotland.
Well, this was the first try for Gloucester. In goes Luke Narroway. It was possession when Edinburgh were down to 14 men, and still down to 14 men. They were able to score this try at the other end, which brought them back into the game. Score sitting Gloucester 10, Edinburgh 7.
Well, Will Greenwood was making the point in the studio half-time. Teams need to concentrate on winning the game before getting the bonus point, and Dean Ryan said that to me in the week as well. David Callum is on, straight into the action. Simon Taylor's off now. Godman, floated pass. Cairns comes off his wing very well. Left foot, Muschin could go forward from the second row. Tyndall's in there trying to win the ball back for Gloucester, but it's Patterson now, and Godman.
Away, red!
Bortolani. How many tackles has he made this afternoon? Patterson to Southwell. Strokos just a little bit static there when he took the ball. Too many options to the right. Dougie Hall sees that, so it goes left. Blair to Murray's lost the ball there. Lawson moves his men on the left-hand side. Here's Tyndall. Lamb.
Get there, Fozzie, come on!
Robbers it as far as Southwell. Let's be quick here. Ball short. Foster are chasing. Southwell with a good kick. It's just flirting with the touchline. Taken out there. I'm not sure the referee's seen it. Blair, Dickinson, good hands from in. Godman, chance here. Oh no, it's Doogie all outside him. Now he's inside him. Blair read the situation so well. Seesaw of a game at the moment. Gripping stuff. Jacobson. Tackled by the duo of Wood and Nieto. Strokosz pick and drive from the blind side flanker. Scotland name out. DeRolo to Southwell. Donald. Patterson just gets another couple of metres for his team. Narroway's in there quickly making an important tackle, and he's won the penalty for Gloucester. Mark Tinder wants to take the advantage, but the whistle has already gone. Good work again from Narroway. He's had an impressive afternoon.
Oh, he has. He's gone through a power of work, but Edinburgh again, possession after possession, the phase. This is Lamb just taken out here. Well, the little nudge coming in from Matt Mustin, the Edinburgh second row. Just standing there. You could see the minute he actually made the nudge, he looked over to the touch judge just to check he didn't get touched, but this gave an opportunity for Mike Blair to open up. Phil Godman on the counter-attack, didn't have the legs of a winger outside him. It was Dougie Hall on that occasion.
Well, Ryan Lamb's now leaving the field. His afternoon's work is done. Only Walker, the man replacing him. Made his debut against Argen as a substitute. New Zealand Maori man, formerly of the Highlanders. Grand Palmer as well.
6, wait! Now you can play!
Again, the up and under is used. Patterson.
It's a wreck!
Yes, there so quickly.
Play on!
Mix up in midfield. Cairns is there. As far as Bolshaw, though. Direct from Ian Bolshaw. Just drills it into touch. Oh, there's Willie Walker. Representing the New Zealand Maori.
Number 5.
Well, what a turnaround there. Edinburgh with the majority of the possession in the second half, suddenly winning ball up front, which has been so important for them.
Trying to get a hand in there.
Play the advantage.
It's not gone. From the Gloucester number 8.
Advantage is over.
Advantage over, says the referee. Godman. Simpson Daniel. It's near touchline. Bolshaw again, they spread it wide. Trying to stretch the defence immediately. And just kick it in behind.
A good nudge there from Mike Tyndall. They're quite happy, Gloucester, just to play the territorial game. Here, nothing really on, just prods one through. Southwell couldn't do much about that one, just guides it into touch. I almost feel sometimes that Edinburgh, because they're playing so deep, they need to use Hugo Southwell's left foot to get them down the pitch.
How many? 5 or 4?
Well, Gloucester are quite happy to put the ball into touch. Their line-out's functioning well. They're nicking line-out ball almost. That time again, of course, they've got the upper hand in the scrum as well.
Again, here we see Edinburgh running the ball from deep time and time again, and sometimes it's a tactic that's overdone. Godman just doesn't quite have the length to his kicking that perhaps other fly halves have.
And it's energy sapping as well, isn't it? Playing from deep. Gloucester scored a couple of late tries last weekend. Again, Simpson Daniel marshaled his man very well there. Southwell as well. Rolo comes into play 9. Blair is there at outside half, trying to tick off Bortolami and Wood, but no change given there.
No, don't pull.
DeRolo. Strokosz, oh, good couple of offloads there, but it's knocked on again. Narroway, little neat flip off the ground of Foster. that Edinburgh cannot afford.
In this high-risk strategy, Strokosz with the tackle, they pass to Jacobson, and the prop forward just couldn't take it, and that's sometimes where this Edinburgh game comes unstuck. The mistake from deep, the unnecessary mistake that allows the advantage to go over, and Gloucester will be delighted to get a scrum just outside Edinburgh's 22.
It's been a hard couple of weeks for that Edinburgh 8. Bortolami leading his side so well. Such an influential figure since arriving in the summer.
He's a very good footballer, although all-round skills, his work rate is of the highest order. And he seems to have the huge amount of respect from the rest of his team, and then Dean Ryan, a guy who is very, very well respected. Mike Blair there, he's been everywhere this afternoon for Edinburgh, been absolutely outstanding, keeping the continuity going for Edinburgh from deep, allowing the Edinburgh team to get back into
But I haven't the number of the
touching
black
distance
team.
of this
Okay?
Gloucester team.
If I have
Both
the
teams
number,
obviously
you can
desperate
break
to score
quick,
3
and
more tries,
if
even
they
to
don't
try and
open the gap,
get it within touching distance.
yeah, okay.
There's Dean Ryan.
But tell me the number, please, Black. Tell me the
Brian
number.
Redpath to his right, of course. Scotsman and Carl Hogg to the left.
The decision. Off. Come off.
The English rose between the two Scottish thistles.
Well, there's a good young coaching team here, and they do spend a lot of work. I know in particular Dean Ryan, a great thinker of the game, and the analysis side, Brian Redpath as well. Well, this will be a bit of a blow. Olivier Zam coming off.
There's Rob Ellaway, 16.
Engage!
Sat on the bench
Put the ball, put the ball!
last weekend. One Heineken Cup appearance back in 2004 on this season, so the 23-year-old comes on. Given Hooker, same result. Now away. Free kick, Bolshaw. Looking inside now, flips it up, Tyndall's there. Gloucester looking dangerous here. Bortolami, my word. Lawson. Gloucester need to be patient here. It's gone down, it's their scrum. They won't mind that at all. But what a hit. Strokosz on Bortolami.
Strokosz, outstanding defence here from Edinburgh. The quick tap from Luke Narroway. Now this is where the space came. The wide pass, Bolshaw stretched the defence. Derolo got back, Tyndall in there. The possession that comes back here. And Bortolami took this all out, bang. Well, the hit and the collision was something else. What again is about the tackle, but Bush, that one goes Strokosz.
I lost my breath up here. Lawson. Steady scrum, Walker chips it. Tyndall gets a boot to it. Trying to get it down, and the referee's given it. Well, he scored an identical try last weekend. Another one, and Gloucester have their second.
Well, he's absolutely delighted because the ball took the ricochet off him at the other end. Gets the ball down here, though, before the dead ball line. Try time for Gloucester. That was the clever kick. It came through there from Willie Walker, and you just feel that Willie Walker's just added a little bit of sharpness to this Gloucester team. The minute he's come on, he found Bolshaw with a wide pass, and here he is taking on the kicking duties as well.
And adding the 2 points. Good decision from the referee. He saw the action, saw the try, gave it immediately.
Yeah, Walker just with the dunk through, though. The ricochet that came off Phil Godman allows Tyndall, who was sharp, and he got the touchdown.
So Gloucester halfway to the target we feel they want this afternoon. Substitution for the Cherry Whites. Here he is, Christian Califano. No let up in the front row. With the man going off the loose head. French international, of course. One game here against Scotland back in '98. 5 Nations as it was then. And Califano. Mike Blair is off as well at scrum half for Edinburgh. John Senio, Samoan international is on. To Tyndall. Just caught there. He's able to recover in the end. Simpson Daniel. It's his opposite winger. Soon. See the space there. Southwell will have to come across for this one. Now Lawson chasing his own kit. It's infield. Can't take it. Foster outside. Comes back this way towards Simpson Daniel. Lovely offload to Bolshaw. Bolshaw with a chip. He's against Scott Murray here. Patterson coming across. Bolshaw. He's knocked it on. And Edinburgh play on. Here's Godman. Patterson hasn't got any support. Advantage over. Says the referee. Derolo sees a little space. Taking it in, and now Edinburgh win the penalty. Breathtaking stuff here.
5 away.
Liam Bolshaw saw the space then, didn't he?
He's a lovely runner when he gets going, but it was the offload here from, first of all, Bolshaw fed James Simpson Daniel. Now look at this lovely offload there on the outside. There it goes, pulls the pass back, the wee chip ahead, and really it was Patterson who let this one go. And really, otherwise, if Bolshaw picked that one up, it might have been a third try, but wonderful offload there from Simpson Daniel.
He's got a couple of tries, bringing in his 9 caps. Quite similar to that. Almost draws his man, James Simpson Daniel. Wonderful player. Southwell looks a little flat.
Just a tad forward, I feel. And again, Edinburgh, again, looking to use this wide, expansive game. Godman with the wide pass to Derolo. You can just watch that forward pass there. But because Derolo doesn't put enough zip on the ball, it allows him to drift over that 10-yard line. Crucial error there for Edinburgh, just allowing Gloucester the pressure. And they know they've got time on their side to nail these 2 remaining tries, just to keep them in touch with Agen and Leinster.
Good win for the Irish problem. Simpson Daniel can't take the pass from Walker, but that good win for Leinster in Agen. Not an easy place to go and win. In fact, we were down in the first round for Edinburgh's game, and that's a game they really should have won. It was just a 78th minute penalty from Francois Gélès.
Just a 78th minute penalty, just about, but Leinster proved you can go over there and win, and won well.
They must give Gloucester heart in the forthcoming rounds. McDonald. Portman. The forward pass.
Incredible, you've just seen 3 forward passes, one-on-one, and really just a little bit of shape being lost to the game. Just poor running going in there between the Edinburgh midfield, between Andrew Easton and Marcus Derolo.
Get up, Red, get up, Black.
Well, warm reception for Roy Lawson as he goes off. What a man to bring on. Peter Richards, England scrum half.
Saying it to me. Okay. Clutch it on.
6 of England's last tests. Richards has had to live with a spark. Bolshaw. Bolshaw trying to use that combination with Simpson Daniel. Talami, a bit isolated there. Nick Richards needs to come in quickly. Yep, of course he was isolated. He was on his own, wasn't he?
Peter Richards also coming in, but again, David Callum with a quick tap restart. Again, this adventurous game from Edinburgh from deep. You almost feel that they sometimes overplay it. You know, you got Scott Murray there trying a sidestep just outside his 22.
Of course, with a penalty, they put it out of touch. They would have the line out, but here's Dickinson showing really good pace. On the tight head, but sort of pass you might expect from a prop forward. Now Gloucester come. Back to Edinburgh. One way and then the other, isn't it, this game? Durolo now. Senior. Donald's not been overawed by this experience at all. Senior again looking for the little break himself. Dickinson trying to have another rumble. He did a month or two ago. Scored a try against New Zealand Maori in the Churchill Cup final in the summer. It was a good try that from Dickinson. Strokosh just knocks it on.
Broken black, scrum red.
Again from deep here, this was Ali Dickinson, the prop forward, showing a good clean bit of heels. The overhead pass not finding Chris Patterson though, and almost the counter attack coming on.
No ball,
Just goes to show that Edinburgh do love to attack from deep, and Alistair Dickinson, well, he perhaps doesn't have the power to anchor the scrummage, but he certainly has the pace to get around the ball and continue.
Stay band, black, stay band, 7 black.
Just controls for Richards. Walker.
No play, 7. Now we can play.
Southwell reads that one, and well, it wasn't difficult to read.
Well, one time Southwell should just take that ball and counter. He then goes and marks. There's not a Gloucester player in sight. It was a very poor kick by Willie Walker. He just gives possession back to Edinburgh. Southwell with his left peg will clear down for it. And this is where you see how much yardage Edinburgh have now gained from here. You just feel with Southwell's boot how much more they could do with that and then start attacking from this deep position. Walker, however, will return with interest.
I feel they do need to play a little bit more rugby in Gloucester's half when they do those penalties. And it hasn't been functioning at 100%, but they play from deep all the time. It's energy sapping, but Edinburgh have the penalty now.
Well, Godman was turned there in the tackle. Luke Narroway looked up to the referee and went, come on, he was turned. But they got away with it, Edinburgh. They'll have the penalty.
Don't move away.
It looked like he was turned there, Phil Godman.
By the tackler, thank you.
Talami again, showing his captaincy qualities, just checking with the referee.
There is Boltalami, just wraps him up, and again Narroway in there as well. He's been clearly turned there. How the penalty comes back onto Edinburgh's side, well, it must have been a man over the top there.
I think Richards kept that one in. Bolshaw goes back. Acrobatic stuff from Peter Richards. Bolshaw.
Away!
Mistake from Edinburgh. Didn't find their touch. It's Senior. Check from him. Good gather from scrum half. He just come on the field. He's got into the pace of this game very well. Durolo. Eason trying to free the hands for the offload. Jacobson. It's the play scrum half. A run from him. Can Edinburgh strike back here? Godman. Strokosh doesn't drop that one.
Hands off, Red, it's a ruck!
Flanker trying to make ground in the midfield. Senior again to Patterson. Comes back to his forwards, looks for that support from them.
No ruck!
He says no ruck, Glos will turn this one over. There's numbers. Walker. Foster. It's the one-handed pass to Tyndall, looks inside. Anthony Allen will race away. Lovely counter-attack from Gloucester, lovely rugby. The opportunity was on and they have taken it with both hands.
Try number 3 though for Gloucester. Well, they need another one, but they attack and they take a leaf out the Edinburgh book. Look at this one, the attack from deep. They know it's over. Walker with a wide pass. Manages to find Anthony Allen. Now it was the support from Tyndall. Great running by Tyndall. And back in, Anthony Allen with a wonderful run in for the line. Well, he's very happy, that man, to deliver an excellent try here at Murrayfield.
His 4th try. This is his debut season in the Heineken Cup. Anthony Allen, of course, capped against New Zealand and Argentina in the autumn.
Okay, 3 black and 8 red.
Willie Walker, simple enough, adding the conversion. Gloucester 24 points to 7. And if you're Dean Ryan, you're asking for just one more try.
Well, it was Mike Tyndall who brought the inside centre into play, and it was just a stroll for the line. Gloucester attacking from deep and scoring a marvellous try.
Go round of substitutions is happening. And Morgan is on. Bolt short. And Balding is on. There he is, number 19. There goes off. Good afternoon for the youngster. Dave Hewitt is on for Edinburgh in the front row. It's Callum.
Away 7!
Kept here for the first time in the autumn series for Scotland. Having had the coach he'd like to be playing Test rugby for 10 years. Yet. Good a game. Gloucester now with the line out. And Gloucester with that try just before half-time. Edinburgh shot straight back at in the second half. 2 more for Gloucester. Very similar to last week, and Gloucester scored 4 into injury time. Buxton to walking out. There's Tyndall. Just truck it up the middle, but he's holding on. Strockish wants to get his hands on the ball, and they say go. Here's Jacobson. Edinburgh won't give up. This is a side full of character. Senior. Again, the scrum half is there. To Hall. Jump his way out of the tackles, and using the short side. It's Southwell. Tackled by Richards. He's back on his feet quickly. Senior. Godman, little wrap around. LOA was there. It's good play from the young replacement hooker of LOA. Muschin. Jacobson, patient working, good ball retention from Edinburgh. It's their 6th phase now. Playing scrum off Godman, ball in 2 hands. Always from Phil Godman. Just asking questions of the defender. So look to turn that one, but illegally.
Hands off.
Having a look at the Edinburgh website this week, many of their fans, as you probably would expect, calling for Phil Godman to be the number 1 fly half for Scotland.
Just Godman on that last counter there. He had the inside track of Chris Patterson, opted not to pass inside, but it was a super tackle from Peter Buxton, who's done a power of work here this afternoon. Sometimes the unseemly chores not been recognised.
Take the line out. Strockish, both 6s in fact. Full of work, full of running this afternoon. Andy Hazel down on that one. Referee not happy. Calling over Pete Buxton.
More infringement. Too much infringement.
Now a yellow card for Gloucester. And they'll miss him.
Well, the kiss of death, the commentator mentioning, and Buxton has put enough power of work in there. And now Gloucester down to 14 men. Can Edinburgh take advantage? But Buxton, you can just see rolling round the side, coming in from an offside position to deny Edinburgh that drive at the line. It's a bit unfair, that particular decision, but he's in an offside position, trying to spoil the possession.
Matt Day, who's come on for Marcus De Rolo in the centres. Taking that one on. Godman. Flat pass, but again it's in the centre. Here's Willie Walker against Matt Day. It's Tyndall outside him and Morgan. Chip meant for Ollie Morgan. It's into his hands. Is this the bonus point for Gloucester? It is. Ollie Morgan knows how important that is. The Gloucester fans know how important it is. Lovely chip from Willie Walker.
Well, it was at this point here, Willie Walker, he didn't have the pace to go, but look at this superb trip. He was aware of the space off his left foot and nails it. Absolutely on a tee. It's just a run-in at the end of the day for Ollie Morgan. But Gloucester with two attacking forays from deep get themselves that bonus point and undoubtedly victory, but off the left foot, he puts it on a tee. And Ollie Morgan, well, he had the pace to go in, his hamstrings would have been cold.
Well, Dean Ryan saying this young squad of his are learning all the time in this competition. They would have learned a lot this afternoon. Away win so important in this competition, of course.
Oh, very much so, and also that's the confidence that they've had within this performance, the way they've just notched up the intensity of this particular game. And they've really, you feel in some respects that Edinburgh have played into Gloucester's hands this afternoon.
Willie Walker taking the conversion. You have to say that Walker and Richards coming on a half-back have changed this game slightly. Walker adding the 2 points. Claps from the Gloucester crowd. There's only Morgan, the try scorer. Turnover deep in Gloucester half.
It was a superb chip though. Look at this one right onto the plate here. And Ollie Morgan accepted the kind bounce. Matt Day couldn't provide the tap tackle. Morgan in for that all-important 4th bonus point try for Gloucester. Keeps them in touch with the group, with Agen and Leinster above them.
And McDonald took it really well from the restart.
Away 18!
Gloucester just taking their off it slightly senior.
Away tackler!
3 substitutions coming on for Edinburgh. Scott Murray goes towards the line.
Hands off, Red!
Kelly is on Hodge. Duncan Hodge is on. Strockers just waits. Get another try here. Balling with a tackle.
Hands off!
With Alex Brown.
No,
Backs lining out, it's gone backwards, says the referee. Gloucester looking to turn this one over. It's a bit messy in there. Senior again decide to keep it tight.
No, hands off, it's a right number 4, Ed!
Where is the ball, Scott?
It's right at the bottom. There you are, Johnny.
Oh, there it is.
I'm often amazed that the teams just don't put the ball against the post protector. It's a try there. Edinburgh surely will seal this one now.
Advantage coming to Edinburgh though. Does Gloucester come away with it? Andy Hazel, a scavenger. Quick tap again from Edinburgh. Senior puts his head down.
Hands off, away, Red! No, don't play. Hands off!
Ken Edinburgh.
Hands off, 20!
Offering the Gloucester line. The defence is there, working well. The red line so far. Held up 5 metre scrum, Edinburgh.
You have to say that Gloucester have defended particularly well when Edinburgh have been hammering away at the line. The close contact stuff there. And the steam rising from this Gloucester set of forwards.
It's about that time of the afternoon. You get to choose your Heineken man of the match, Scott.
My Heineken man of the match, Mike Blair's been outstanding, but unfortunately, well, it has to go to a Gloucester player, undoubtedly. And in that decision, Mike Tyndall played outstandingly well, but for me, Peter Buxton, there he is. Peter Buxton is my Heineken man of the match. He's been outstanding in the tight, in the forays. He's not really been mentioned an awful lot, but he provided so much momentum, so much defence, so much of the hard graft that was at the core of this particular performance.
Yeah, 5. Back, please, back.
Well, that's the final substitute coming on. Adam Eustace. 14 substitutes being used. We must have a busy Christmas period. Newcastle at home, London Wasps away on Boxing Day. London Irish sail and then away to Agen. And home to Leinster in the final round of the Heineken Cup. Being Ryan saying they can keep themselves in this competition if they keep winning. And that's what they've done this afternoon. And with the bonus point, Peter Richards kicks it over the dead ball line. Thought time was up.
It's not the time, it's my time. 4 minutes.
A wry smile there.
Go!
Well, somebody will keep the match ball the way that was punted out the stadium.
Get
4
up,
minutes
get up,
worth of
no
injury time, I'm afraid.
No, get up, no ball.
Mr. Richards, so you've got a wee bit
Good.
more to play. Can Edinburgh then capitalise on this 5-yard scrum?
Can they get a final score?
Clutch and on. Wait.
Edinburgh next go
Engage.
to Leinster in round 5 and then have Agen here at home. Plenty of pride in this team. They want to get over the try line one more time. But it has been a job well done for the Cherry and Whites. Second half, they just put a little bit more composure on it. Halfbacks, new halfbacks have come on. Richards and Walker. They looked for that win first, and then the bonus point came. Here's Patterson, no, for Edinburgh. This is taken high. And he's out straight from the referee, so advantage being played. Now we'll have the penalty. Bortolami. Just keeping the other players at arm's length.
Well, since Willie Walker's come on, he's almost transformed this Gloucester team. He's provided zip and zest, but I'm afraid after this little tete-a-tete finishes off, I'm afraid that Mr. Walker's going to have a few minutes in the sin bin. There he is, he's already off. The referee just calling Willie Walker back because he's yet to show him a card. He knows fine well that it was an illegal challenge. It was a bit negligent, and it certainly was high.
He knew it was a yellow card, but he had to be told by the gentleman holding the microphone on the side of the pitch to go back to the referee to see his yellow. But it won't really matter.
It's often the case that a substitute who comes in off the bench just adds that extra zip and zest to the team, and certainly he's added momentum to this Gloucester performance.
There's Gloucester's season rumbling on, second in the Premiership. Now they've got their Heineken Cup campaign right back on track here this afternoon.
It's not the time.
With a win and 4 tries. A couple of minutes of injury time left now.
No ball.
It's another knock-on from Edinburgh.
Get
Give
up,
Gloucester the scrum here.
Get up. Clutch and all. Clutch and all. Engage. Put
Peter
the
Reese
ball.
is just checking with the referee. Doesn't want to kick it over the dead ball line again. It's thrown over there. Edinburgh coming out. Ben Cairns. They've got to try back. They refuse to give up this Edinburgh side. And there's a try for the youngster.
Well, Edinburgh pinching one out the back of the scrum on the retreat. McDonald manages the offload, and then on the angle, Cairns nips in for a good try, but more of a consolation. So the scoring pass came from Andrew Eason. So youngster to youngster, Ben Cairns in for his second try of this competition, but I'm afraid Edinburgh will not be progressing any further.
Patterson adds the 2 points, 3 tries in 3 games. That youngster, promising future for him, but not for Edinburgh in this competition. John Senior, great work in there.
Great steal at the base from the Samoan from Auckland. Clever play from the scrum half, allows the try from Ben Cairns.
Oh, Gloucester strolling towards the halfway line. There's 60 seconds left. Tyndall, of course, Willie Walker in the sin bin for that high tackle. He wants to take responsibility there for Edinburgh. Could be a late try for Gloucester. No, a win with the bonus point, absolutely crucial.
Well, it was comprehensive in the end, but Gloucester benefited from the open game plan that was in, where they scored the 4 tries, which at least keeps them in touch with this group. But a super game of rugby, well done both teams.
Well, Gloucester up to 11 points in this group now. It's a job well done. Far smarter than they were this afternoon. The Gloucester win.